Al-Iman is a synonym for Al-Aqidah. So let's try and understand Al-Iman. And as it is, when someone asks you what Al-Iman is, I'm sure you'd be able to say that Al-Imanu an tu'mina billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawmil akhiri wal qadri khairihi wa sharri. Because this is the definition given by the very Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This reminds me that the word al-iman, in order for us to be able to better understand it, it would do well if we can look at a couple of other terms surrounding that, especially the term Islam. Because if we look at the term Islam, if we're able to understand what Islam is, we will also be able to understand what Iman is automatically, and then we can get into the depths of what Al-Iman is. So we know that there is a hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam in which it is mentioned, of course, after he leaves, is when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Do you know who was here just a little while ago?" Yeah, and then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Atakum Jibreel. It was Jibreel that was here. He was here in order to teach you the religion, which is when Jibreel alayhi salam asked these 4 or 5 questions that are mentioned in Hadith Jibreel. Although our scope is not Hadith Jibreel, which is why we're not going to look at all the questions. Nonetheless, since we are talking about Aqidah, one way or the other, we will touch base on various aspects of Hadith Jibreel. Now, Al-Iman can be understood, like I said, in a better way if we understand what Islam is. Before I start talking to you about what Islam is, let me give you in a nutshell about what Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah had to say about these 2 words. He says, إِذَا اجْتَمَعَا افترقا وَإِذَا افترقا اجْتَمَعَا, which means if you use only one of these 2 words, Islam, for instance, automatically Iman is also what is meant. And if you just use Iman, Islam is also what is applicable. However, if you use both Iman and Iman, إِذَا جِتَّمَعَا, when you use these 2 words together, that's exactly when they have independent meaning. So inshallah, in our today's session, we will try and find out what Islam and Iman are. Although we did shed a little bit of light way back in the first couple of episodes or so about what Islam and Iman are. But inshallah ta'ala, we are going to dissect it big time in our today's session. Bi'idhnillahi wa tawfiqi.